Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm excited to introduce you to Manish Chowdhary from Cahoot. He is the founder and CEO of this exciting, innovative business for FBA and Amazon sellers. And so, without further ado, Manish, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got the idea for Cahoot.
Well, thank you, Colleen. Again, my name is Manish Chowdhary with Cahoot. Um, the idea of Cahoot actually goes way back, early 2000. I was working on a very interesting research project. Back in those days, digital cameras were the thing. They were like the iPads or iPhones of today. The transition was happening from film cameras to digital cameras, and everybody was buying digital cameras as gifts and so on. So we had access to a lot of sales data from different camera sellers. And back in those days, a lot of the sellers were selling on Yahoo platform, and they were obviously distributed throughout the country. And when we plotted that sales data on the map of the US, an interesting observation came to surface, that we saw the same identical item traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast and from the East Coast to the West Coast. So by that, what I mean is a West Coast seller was shipping an item to a customer in New York on the same identical day. The same identical item was being sold or shipped by a New Jersey seller to a customer in California. And I couldn't believe it. And it was happening so frequently that I was actually compelled that I felt this should not happen, because that just is a tremendous waste of resources. It's shipping cost, the transit time, the carbon emission. It's just inefficient. And that's where I started working on this idea, applied for a patent, in early 2000, and then slowly refined the idea, which became Cahoot many, many years later.
Great. Well, especially being that today is Earth Day, it's great to hear that you're doing things to make e-commerce greener. So this past year has obviously been, there's been a lot of issues with supply chain management. The pandemic has caused a lot of issues for sellers. What would you say are some of the top fulfillment issues that sellers are facing today?
Thank you, Colleen. That's such a relevant and important topic. I would say, speaking of Amazon sellers, let's talk about Amazon sellers before we go into e-commerce in general. Last spring, when COVID hit, Amazon was, of course, flooded with demand for orders, and Amazon had to make a decision to stop shipping non-essential items. And as you know very well, given your influence on Amazon sellers, there are about 2 million Amazon sellers in the US alone. And many of them rely on Amazon for their livelihood, and they rely on FBA to ship all their items. And Amazon, perhaps for good reason, stopped taking any new inventory. And so many of these sellers were left high and dry. They just had no way. Their livelihood stopped, just like the restaurants closed and so on. However, people were turning to online to buy things, whether it's toys or it's anything to keep themselves occupied if it was non-essential. So that was a big eye-opener for the Amazon FBA sellers, even, that they need to have an alternate fulfillment strategy. They cannot just simply rely on Amazon for all their fulfillment, even if FBA is awesome for many reasons. However, you need to be ready and fully equipped to handle those kind of supply chain disruptions. That was one. Then, come February this year, of course, Amazon Seller Fulfill Prime. So a lot of the FBM sellers that have been participating in the Seller Fulfill Prime program, which went through a massive change, perhaps the most radical change Prime has seen in the last 5 years, because Amazon is trying to move the Prime program from 2-day free shipping to 1-day free shipping. So they introduced these new rules that now sellers have to work 6 days a week. They need to do fulfillment on Saturday or the weekend. Then you need to offer all your products nationwide. You could not just simply offer 2-day shipping in your region. And a lot of sellers cannot afford that. They're not equipped. If you have 1 or 2 warehouses, say you're based in New York, you cannot ship that big heavy item to California in 1 day. And the requirement is you need to have at least 30% 1 calendar day delivery promise. So there are several. I can continue going, but I'm sure you have some comments, thoughts, and we can keep it more interactive. So there are several more challenges.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think if people learned anything this past year is you have to diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Absolutely have, a full suite of products that you offer. If things are getting caught up in the supply chain, and make sure you have other items that you can sell in your own warehouse and FBA on Walmart, eBay, wherever. So good. Well, with Amazon's push for its Prime program to move from 2-day free delivery to 1 day, what is the impact both on and off Amazon?
Sure. I mean, one, as we know, unlike Vegas, what happens on Amazon doesn't stay on Amazon. Amazon is the bellwether. Amazon moves the industry forward, and literally the trends or anything that Amazon does, does become the e-commerce standard in general. So with Amazon was the first one to introduce Prime unlimited free shipping for a fixed annual fee in 2005. And then, of course, it took almost a decade or more for people like Walmart and Newegg and others to introduce similar membership program, like Walmart introduced Walmart Plus in 2019, 20. So it's very clear that Amazon leads the pack. They bring the industry forward. And if Amazon is pushing for e-commerce deliveries to go from 2-day to 1 day, it wouldn't be a surprise that will very soon become the expectation. That will soon become the standard. So whether you're selling on Shopify, you're selling on Magento, BigCommerce, no matter where you sell, if you and I get used to placing an order on a Friday evening and getting the product on a Saturday afternoon, no matter where you shop, your expectations are not likely to change. So this trend is real. We know this. Amazon is super serious about this because they have suspended thousands and thousands of sellers who do not meet the self-fulfill Prime requirements. And those are the folks that are coming to Cahoot for help. So we believe that within the next, say, 12 to 24 months, 1-day delivery will become what is today the 2-day delivery standard.
Right. Yeah. So I think it was last August maybe that Amazon first announced the change was coming for seller fulfilled Prime, but definitely in February of this year, it seems like a lot of sellers were caught off guard and were suspended. So what can sellers do to help meet this nationwide requirement, with this super speedy delivery from 2 days to 1 day? What options do sellers have? I mean, it's so difficult and costly.
It is. It's a real challenge. And the sellers have to evolve and sellers have to adapt. And, most sellers can only afford to ship using economical ground shipping. You cannot really, most sellers cannot afford to use air cargo like 2-day air service or 1 day or overnight air, which is, of course, from in context of Earth Day, ground shipping produces 85% less emission than air cargo, and it is also less than half the price, sometimes 1/3 the price of air shipping. So what our data and our analysis and it's also validated and confirmed by other industry experts that you need many locations. You need to get your inventory closer to the consumer, closer to your end customers, and place them there so you can still use ground shipping and get the orders in 1 day, 2 day. And it basically sellers, if they want to canvas the entire continental US in 1 day delivery using ground, you would need anywhere from 4 to 9 warehouse locations. That's kind of the numbers you're talking about. And those are very, very challenging for sellers to adapt to. And I can explain more on how they can solve the problem, but you need to get your inventory closer, then you need the software to manage all this. And you need to do this 6 days a week because it's not only one-day delivery, Amazon also wants you to receive your products 7 days a week. They want carriers already have already made changes. I mean, I'm sure you've received deliveries from FedEx on Saturday, from UPS, even on Sundays. If you live in a highly dense metro area like Manhattan, you will get deliveries on a Sunday from all the carriers. So e-commerce is becoming a 7-day operations business now.
Right. Now, I want to learn a little bit more about how Cahoot can help solve for that. But I know that you were just recognized in Fast Company's, one of the world's most innovative companies. So tell me a little bit about what Cahoot was recognized for, and the type of innovation that you've created in this space.
Well, thank you, Colleen. I'm really proud to share and the accomplishment of our team, really, to help us get this very prestigious award. Fast Company, one of the most innovative companies in America in the logistics category. And what we were recognized for is, as you know, with e-commerce, e-commerce grew about 40% last year because of COVID. Certain marketplaces like Walmart grew about 80% their GMV. So massive, massive growth. When you click online and press that checkout button, you forget that there's actually need for warehouse space, the need for labor to pack the item, and for the carriers to deliver the item to your door. And you can't scale that by the click of a button. You can't build warehouses by clicking a button. So what that has resulted in is this massive warehouse space crunch. America has millions of square feet of shortage in warehouse space, and when you have shortage, like the laws of economics, rents go up, and rents are going up tremendously. So you have this very massive dichotomy. One side, Amazon is pushing the industry to offer one-day shipping, which means you need more warehouses in more places. With the rise of e-commerce growing at 40, 50%, there is no space. The traditional 3PLs are packed, and that's causing the landlords to increase the rent on the warehouse space. There's a massive shortage of skilled warehouse workers, well-priced, affordable warehouse labor. So now labor is going up, warehouse space shortage. All of this is leading to a massive storm, which is only going to increase the cost of operations for sellers, and they have to offer one-day shipping on top. So big, big problem. And that's the problem that Cahoot has solved in a very novel way, and for which we got the award, is what we call peer-to-peer e-commerce fulfillment. I'm sure you have questions, and I can explain further what that means.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like you're kind of like the Uber or the Airbnb for the e-commerce fulfillment space.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it, because what we are doing is there are about only 20,000 or so 3PL companies in the US. However, there are about millions of sellers in the US that own their own warehouses. And so what Cahoot has done is enabling these sellers to utilize their warehouse as a fulfillment partner on Cahoot network. And basically, we can leverage the capacity that's available with other merchants who do their own fulfillment, but they may have one warehouse. Let's say they have 20,000 square feet or even 5,000 square feet, and half of it is not fully occupied. They have the ability to come join Cahoot, and Cahoot can help monetize that by making them part of the Cahoot network. And Cahoot then sends them inventory and provides the software to convert them into a micro 3PL. And that's how we are solving the America's space shortage issue.
Very good. And what about outside of America? Do you have any plans to expand into Europe or other areas as well?
Absolutely. I mean, we are truly a global company. We already have clients in other countries, even other continents. Right now, we have limited presence outside the US. We are looking to expand that. So if your sellers, your audience have sellers that are in different countries and they wish to apply, they should hop on, fill out the form on the Cahoot website, which is Cahoot.ai. That's our website, www.cahoot.ai. And we welcome that. We are looking to expand globally for sure.
Great. Well, this sounds awesome. And I know Prime Day is just right around the corner. It's going to be here before we know it. How long does it take for a seller to get set up in your network to be able to take advantage of all the warehouses and fulfillment options that you have?
Yeah, so we've really simplified this process incredibly. Sellers can literally get set up and take advantage of our distributed fulfillment in as little as 2 weeks. And most of the time really is the time it takes for them to ship their inventory to Cahoot. It's not that you need 2 weeks to implement anything. It's very simple. You connect your accounts, you go through a simple onboarding, and then you ship your inventory. And then we are directly integrated with Amazon. We are a certified Amazon app, 5-star rated app, and we begin to receive orders not just from Amazon. So I know that most of your audience is Amazon sellers, but Cahoot Network works with every channel. It's channel agnostic, and we have a number of partners that can help bring orders from just about any channel you can imagine into Cahoot.
Great. And do you have any other advice for FBA merchants that, with Amazon Prime Day coming up here soon? I know a lot of our sellers are FBA sellers. So any other advice that you have, we'd love to hear it.
Well, thank you. I mean, as I shared earlier, what happened in spring of last year, every FBA seller, should have a backup. It's no different than having a backup generator for your home. Yes, most of the time, you won't have electricity failure, but there are times when the supply chains get strained, and Amazon Prime is one of those days. I mean, I believe last year on Amazon Prime, Amazon went down for a couple of hours. The site, if my memory serves me right, or some important, or Cyber Monday, I believe Cyber Monday, one of these big things.
You get the little dog with the error message.
Yeah, exactly. So it is a safe practice to have an alternate fulfillment strategy in place. You don't want to go looking for a generator when everything is closed and you're going to miss out on the opportunity. And also to diversify. Most Amazon sellers are probably selling on Walmart, eBay, on other marketplaces. So Cahoot provides that redundancy. Even if you don't choose to use Cahoot as your primary fulfillment, you got to have a backup strategy so you can convert and change that listing just like this from FBA to FBM. If your inventory is not getting into FBA quick enough, or you're running into quantity limitations because Amazon FBA has quantity limitations for new items that you can bring to a FBA. Sellers run out of stock very quickly. So having an alternate backup strategy that you can swap between and not lose out on the sales momentum, that's really important.
Great, very good advice.
Thank you.
Well, I was talking about Earth Day earlier. So today is April 22nd, so Earth Day here in the United States. And I know, Manish, you're based in Connecticut. I'm based in Virginia, so you're just a few miles up I-95 from us. But I saw that you're doing some work in the local community too, with a program that helps children plant trees to help make the environment even greener.
Yes. I'm really proud to share with you that our partnership with a nonprofit organization called Neighborhood Forest, which was started in 2010, and the founder's name is Vikas Narula, and he started with this concept of giving free trees to kids so that we can reduce the carbon emission or offset a lot of the carbon emission. A lot of our viewers may not know that each of us humans produce 6 tons of carbon dioxide every year, 6 tons of carbon dioxide, and it takes 72 trees a year to offset that. So it's a massive challenge. And what Neighborhood Forest has done is by giving free trees to the kids and promoting them, getting them to love trees and grow, that's a small way to make the planet a little better. And what Cahoot is doing is we look at e-commerce. Yes, we all like the convenience of e-commerce. We click the button. We forget what is the toll to the planet, to the environment. And that's our way of helping the planet. And Neighborhood Forest has done an amazing job. They have given 50,000 trees so far. And this year, with our partnership, we helped them deliver together, we delivered almost 18,500 trees to 400 schools, libraries, kids that will be planted anytime this week. And some of them are already in.
That's so exciting. What a great organization, and perfect, because it goes right along with your mission. So helping to reduce that carbon footprint and making order fulfillment greener as well for e-commerce, as green as possible.
That's right. I mean, that's our mission, that making green while making a world a little greener.
Very good. Good. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. Just wanted to kind of open it up. Is there anything else that you want to add while we're here today?
No, I mean, I think, if merchants are looking for fulfillment options, or they're looking for a good shipping solution that helps them do more with less, Cahoot has created not just our fulfillment network, which is very, very inclusive. And for the very first time, sellers who have warehouses and the desire to monetize and make money, this is the first time in history that I'm aware of that we are making it so easy for them to make money, not only to capture the opportunity as a seller, but also to participate as a fulfillment partner. So I invite them to come check out Cahoot at our website, fill out a form, talk with us. Even if we are not the best fit right now, but at least get acquainted with what your options are, and get ready for Prime Day. Cyber Monday is going to be around the corner. It'll be here before we know it. So I'm really excited. And thank you so much, Colleen, for this opportunity.
Thank you. And I'll definitely echo what Manish said. I mean, they're a great company, have an awesome support team, and excellent, software. So definitely check them out. They've been a great partner of ours for quite some time. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to either of us. And good luck to everybody on Prime Day. Good luck to your team there at Cahoot, Manish. And I know we'll be in touch soon.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks for coming on today, and happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.